Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be discussing Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16 episode 15. We are still in Grenada. It was another filler episode, and listen, we are towards the end of the season, so those are to be expected. But this one, I don't know if it's because I'm like in full swing of Love Island or what, but I was just like, okay, and then what? So first things first, let me tell you something. I'm right there with Angela, okay? There is no way I would have been able to sit there and watch Britt carry on like that with Shamia and then look at Drew and look at anybody, because let me tell y'all something about me. I am a laugher in like tense situations if I feel uncomfortable. This is such a deep cut, but my mom and I almost got jumped one time by this lady. It's a whole story for a different day, but I could not keep it together. And mind you, I was like 16 or 17 at this time, and it was like something I have to do with my dad. But this lady full on like ran up on me and my mom, and look, my mom was already going through a lot. She 100% was trying to like make sure she could de-escalate the situation while still like making sure I'm safe. I could not stop laughing because I was like, what is this? Like, what is going on right now? And listen, if push comes to shove and like my fight or flight like has to kick in, it absolutely will. Like if that woman would have like actually put hands on my mom, then I definitely would have like done what needed to be done. But in situations like that where people are acting so just like odd and borderline erratic, it is my second nature to start laughing. And if I'm in a place where I can't bust out laughing, I do have to go to the bathroom, or I will like start crying, and people will think that I'm like sympathizing with them. But it honestly truly was just too much from Britt. It was too damn much. I was like, oh my God, if you do not wish Shamia well and just sit down somewhere. I was like, what is going on? And it was very relieving for me to know that the women in the actual room felt that way as well. Speaking of Britt's beef with yet another person, when it comes to Britt and Kelli, I feel like Kelli is just tired at this point, honestly, truly. And I can't say I blame her, right? It's been a very long season of Britt beefing with everybody all across the board. So I took her silence really as just like, she got it. And I really don't agree with what she did, so I'm gonna let her have it, right? Now, when it comes to the sit down that they had in Kelli's room, I don't know what those two were trying to communicate towards one another. It felt like they were having like a weird power dynamic. Both of them had stuff that they didn't want to bring up on camera, but then the other was trying to bring up other stuff on camera. I don't know. It was very odd. But let me say this. Britt seems like one of those people that's like, well, you let me borrow it before, so why can't I borrow it again, right? When it comes to service providers, so your hairdressers, your makeup artists, your stylists, at the end of the day, I do feel like if you are not going to like put those people on a salary and pay them for the time that they may have lost if they were to go with another client so that you can make sure they aren't with other clients, then you need to pay that, right? Paris, Kelli's, I guess, former stylist now, put something on social media where they said that he's going to go where the money resides and that, you know, where he's appreciated. And you know what? Sure, fine. Like I said, for your service providers, you definitely need to pay them if you don't want them to be a part of or help anybody else, right? But at the same time, I feel like it's just so lazy of Britt to just try and take the people that Kelli has offered her or introduced to her. And my thing with that Paris person saying like, oh, I'm going where the money resides, it's like, Britt still hasn't paid the party planner. Again, as a former service provider myself, hairdresser, makeup artist, I would be like, if I know that you don't pay people, if I know that people got to chase you down to get their money from you, I am going to side-eye that, but who knows what really happened. Paris also put up a picture of Brit and was like, kind of like made the like fingers locked, like locked in emoji. I don't know, maybe he thinks he's gonna get a piece of the $20 million that she's suing Bravo for. But the other thing that I found interesting about the way Brit is moving is she's telling Kelli, oh, you don't need your whole entourage. You're coming with the security, the stylist, the makeup artist, this. You just need to be just Kelli. You're telling me that while also trying to take the stylist, the makeup artist. Like, okay, girl. A lot of the scenes with Brit are just kind of like whatever to me now, because I'm not going to get any resolution since she didn't show up to the reunion, right? So it's kind of like, okay, whatever. Now, moving on. When it comes to Drew and the wedding date, I want to talk about Drew and the wedding date, and then I want to talk about the stuff that happened online regarding Drew this late last week. So first of all, if Real Housewives, watching Real Housewives for years and years has taught me anything, it's that as soon as you think that you want to have a vow renewal, you just need to go to couples therapy instead if you really want to save your marriage. Because one thing about it, and two things for sure, as soon as vow renewal comes into play, doomed hex. Now, when it comes to Drew's marriage, last week, Ralph was posting text messages from Drew, trying to expose her yet again. You can never, ever, 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 ever try to convince me that Ralph does not care about anything but court of public opinion. He was posting text messages from 2020 and 2021. It's 2025. And he was very much so still married to Drew in 2020 and 2021. Let me tell you something. I think it is very, very, very gutter snipe, low down, dirty to post text messages from a friend, from a spouse, anything, while y'all were still on good terms and good. Like, I think that is just no, especially husband and wife. Like, are you okay? The answer is no. The answer is no. You don't need to answer that for me. But it was a bunch of bullshit. Nothing that anybody really cared about. And the thing that kills me about Ralph is he wants to sit on Real Housewives of Atlanta confessionals and be like, I'm going to the courts. I'm going to the courts in the app. But it's like, do you think the courts are not paying attention? The actual courts, not the court of public opinion, are not paying attention to your behavior right here. So the text messages, he accuses her of fabricating storylines, and they are from that season where she threw that bone. I think that was like her first or second season. I think she threw that bone at Sheree. I can't really remember. Yeah, Drew's first couple seasons were very rough. It was giving like, you're not really sure what you're doing here. It was giving actress, okay? And we all said that. Been there, said that. As far as what, like the actual text, I don't think anything proved that she was fabricating storylines. We saw her say that she went and bought that bone to throw at Sheree, but like, duh. That was the first thing I said when I saw that. I said, where did she get that bone from? Did she stop by a store and go buy it? Wow, how loser-ish. That's what I said back then. We've moved on from that. The fact that he's bringing that old shit up, he's the loser, okay? And then there's also a text in there about her just being upset about how something Candy said about her. I don't know. That's how minuscule it is. That is how minuscule it is. It's not that, none of it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this, right? He also says that Tampa was fabricated for Drew's storyline, not believing that. And then he also posts pictures of Drew and Ty. So one of them I didn't think was very incriminating. The other one was like mid-level incriminating. Drew was sleeping in the passenger seat and Ty was driving and took a picture. And then the other one, while there were no faces, no face, no case, it did look like two people that could have been Drew and Ty. And to that I have to say, during the month of June, God forbid a girl spend time with her favorite stud. God forbid. It's not giving ally. It's not giving ally, Ralph. You see, I didn't like that. No, I'm just kidding. But for real, like, it was just like, okay, all of this stuff we've been over. Why did you wake up this morning and decide that you wanted to drag Drew like this online so you could get your 5 minutes of fame on the neighborhood talk? And then what? What are we doing here? I just really cannot stand that man, and he proves to me every single day he logs on to Instagram why I call him a Tyler Perry villain. But on that note, that is going to wrap up my thoughts on Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16, episode 15. Almost got me up there. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you get notifications when I post. Don't forget to comment and let me know how you're feeling about the episode and the season so far. And I'll be back tomorrow to talk to y'all about, I think, the Valley. We're in a show switch, so my schedule's a little messed up now, but I'll be back tomorrow to talk to y'all again.